Okay, so I got this ask and I just figured it would be easier for me to show you. So when we're talking specifically about having the shine placed very, here, let's try this here, very realistically, what we're considering is the shape that we're looking at. We're also considering, you can also use like reference images, but like here, now I've never worked with this mesh before. It is, give me a second. I gotta remember what this is. Ma05 Clarice, converted by K's Win KW. Yep, that sounds right. Okay. So what I usually do is what I would be anticipating. I'm going to use my rainbow method to show you, but this is going to be a little darker. Our highlight's going to appear about here. This might naturally, with the Hookla texture I'm working with, going to be like sort of medium toned, and then sort of like here ish I would like a highlight. Let's try this from another angle. Here might be good. Honestly, the best way to show you would have been on a braid texture, but I don't have one to show you, so we're just gonna use this. We're just gonna do this with Body Shop. It's just gonna be the easiest way to do this. Okay, so yep, K's window. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Okay. It's gonna be the easiest way for me to show you this. Okay, hope my everything doesn't crash. Okay. Let's grab this. So, this is what we're working with. This is the alpha. That's where it shows you where the hair goes, and this is the texture itself. What I like to do, I'm not going to be messing with the alpha with this. I'm going to place it here. This is just for tidiness. I need to know where all of these bits of hair end up. So I do just a quick little, Now, I am not the first person, to put out a hair tutorial. So, like, versions of this exist, but I just thought it would be easier if to just give you a visual. Because you can have an idea of where you want the shine to go, and then sometimes the mesh has, like, a different plan for you. Because, you know, a little wacky like that. Okay? Save that. There we go. Now, even like, especially with a clay hair, I would open this in like a different program so I can get really up close and personal. But for the average alpha hair and just, you know, for the average person trying to get into this, we're just gonna do Body Shop. Now, you can see that there's a little bit of goofy nonsense here where the bottom part of this mesh is poking through, but it's actually not going to make a difference at all when we are retexturing. It also looks like these bangs could be fully alpha editable. Jesus. Just things to know. Okay? So it looks like when we're talking about this main texture here, we're going to be the yellow part and the red part. That's this and this. So, let's see if I can... the easiest way I can grab this. Let's see. So what I like to do, it's called the rainbow method. I've made a tutorial before about how to do this. Okay. All right, do I want to deal with the yellow or the red first? Let's deal with the yellow first. So what I'm trying to do is map out exactly where I would like the highlights to lay, and that's how I can get the most realistic looking texture. So I've got this, and then, because I want to be able to distinguish every single bend in that bang. I'm American, I call them bangs. I think British people call them a fringe, probably less dirty. Let's take a look. Okay. So that's gonna kind of help us. So like, I need to figure out what we're doing with the red part, and this is kind of challenging because it looks like the red part is part of the bangs and the back, so we'll see how that works. So it looks like, at least for this yellow part here, about cyan to yellow, roughly. So knowing that, I take white here, cyan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's roughly where I want to put the highlight. Let's refresh that. So it's got like a rough idea. It might look terrible once I put the the texture on it, but this is what I'm doing. I'm sort of mapping out where I want this to go. So take our friend Mr. Rainbow Stripe again. So we need to do it over here. Okay. Oh, I gotta zoom out a little. Okay. Shrink her up. Let's make this a completely different color so we can see what we're doing. So this is going to be the red section. That's going to load. Okay. Also some bits in the front. Let's ignore that for now. All right. So I can definitely say that this periwinkle blue to like this peach color, that's going to be a rough idea what I want for like the back highlighting, maybe halfway through this purple part. And it looks like, thankfully, we're going to have a similar... Interesting. Okay, so I'm actually going to do half periwinkle to like half of... Yeah, okay. I'm just talking about half periwinkle to half... Yep, and this is what I would do for every hair, even clay hairs. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's like roughly the highlights. And all that might be a lot. This is why you adjust these things. What I want to do actually though is that those two other, these are kind of distracting. So what I'm just going to do for now is delete them. It's just like if you were a hairstylist, sometimes you got to move pieces of hair out of the way and see what you're doing. And boom goes the dynamite. Okay, so let's take a look. Let me pull up my texture. Just trying to make this as succinct as possible for you. Let's see. I did not have this pulled up. I apologize for that. Actually, I know where to find this. I'm gonna cheat. I am not a good... I'm sometimes organized, just not right now. Okay. So I'm gonna tackle the yellow section first. So this is sort of an abbreviated pokelet texture. I'm going to stretch this to sort of match this. I'm going to make another copy. I am going to make sure I trim off the excess. Let's see how that looks. It's just like a rough idea. That kind of looks okay. I think I'm gonna need to adjust it, but for now, let's leave it the way it is. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the red section. This one's a little more tricky because it kind of has to cover a lot more area. This is roughly correct. See, like white with white. And I'm just doing this like super roughly, just because we want to kind of get a general idea of where we want those highlights to lay. Okay. All right, now that's not bad. I kind of want the highlights be a little bit higher, but see, this is what I mean about needing to check highlights with your other stuff, because here, this yellow area is definitely different than this. Like, they're just mapped differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of stretch this and sort of scooch it up a little. I kind of don't hate that, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. Now this... Alright, which is the... So sometimes when I can't tell what's the top and what's the bottom, I'm like, what am I looking at? So I'm just going to do a little... Show me where it is. Okay, good. Because sometimes, for some reason, it's especially true with clay hairs, but where you think the top is actually at the bottom. Not the case here, but glad I checked. I think what I have to do is stretch it down, actually. So, let's give it a try. There, that's a lot better. Okay. So, I like how that looks. Now, normally I would move on and do the rest of the hair, but because I just want to show you just like basically how I would go through the whole process, what I'm going to do next is what I like to do. I'm going to pull up Hooklet's base 3 texture, and I really like the sort of the dark, I don't know, like the crown part? I don't even know what I would call this. But I like to add that in at the top because I think it really helps add dimension. And I also always like to make sure, ow, that's way too fucking big actually. Okay. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, see, now it's got a little bit of, I would actually do more, but like let's do the same thing over on the main section. I'm not even done after this, but yeah, I like doing this part. Save. Yeah, I might even do like a darker bit, but like I really find that that helps, and like I gotta like adjust some things. But I feel like that helps a lot. I might even darken that a little. So yeah, basically, and you know, this is, you know, far from done, but that's kind of my process. I hope that helped you.